What up, everybody? This is your boy, Dedrian Colon from House of Wrestling, and this is my review for the July 7th episode of MLW Fusion. I know. It's been a while since I've done a review on MLW Fusion. I try to do it as often as possible with so much wrestling going on, so I just try to do it. But I got it. I got it today. All right, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Man, tonight's episode of MLW, the theme was Thriller in Philly. It all centered around Alex Kane, his open challenge for the MLW Openweight Championship, and who would answer it. Like I always say about MLW, man, it is a fun, entertaining, engaging, complimentary alternative to WWE, AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan. Man, it's so simple yet so fun. Again, this is another episode where I wish more wrestling companies would go back to just doing an hour wrestling TV. Because the MLW is, I want to say, the template on how to just do it and have just these interesting, entertaining, engaging, and very in-your-face storylines, man. And this was a great episode. It started off with what happened last week with the Samoan SWAT team coming out. Jacob Fatu, Juicy Finu, I believe that's what his name is, and there are the other member to the Samoan SWAT team. Forgive me, guys. Actually, you know what? Comment below and let me know who is the third member of the Samoan SWAT team. I remember his name, but I just can't remember it right now. Actually, I know his name, I just can't remember it right now. Forgive me. But man, That was a very good promo, and kudos to MLW. They have done a very good job with their video recaps and packages. Very good. And I tweeted this. I know some people may not like it, but it is, for me, this is how I see it. MLW Fusion has a better presentation and just an overall presentation than NWA Power. MLW just seems more engaging, more lively, more enthusiasm, and just you want to watch it. And it's not a shot at the NWA wrestlers, it's just how the NWA Power is presented. Just how I perceive it. To each its own. But man, that video pack was really dope. You had Jacob Fatu, who had a bandage on his head due to Enzo Amore, or actually, let me rephrase that, Real1, hitting him with the head with a bottle. He was busted open, and he's like, "You never ran up on a Polynesian Oos before. You're about to find out." I love Jacob Fatu's promos, man. It's so real, authentic, raw, gritty, to the point, and you know when he comes across that person, he gonna beat their ass. He gonna beat that ass. I loved it. Then you had the match between Real1 and Linsrado. I had to look it out in my notes. But man, this match was really good. Real1, aka Enzo, man, the guy is really stepping up his game as a heel. And by stepping up, man, he's adding more intrigue to his character. This is not Enzo that you knew in WWE with Cass and everything. No, this is I like this Enzo, aka Real1. He just he's there. That's all I gotta say. He's there. And for those of you who watch wrestling and you know when a wrestler's there, things are just clicking. If he's a heel, the crowd hates him. Like just the timing, everything that he's doing. Man, he's such a good heel. And I like that he's on MLW, and he just brings a lot to MLW. But man, this match was this was a good match, man. There was a spot where he performed the Razor's Edge on the ring post, like he had Linsrado and just ran around the ring and just bam, hit him. I was like, ooh. And if you ever watch MLW, they have very little padding around the ring, so when you hit something and you fall, like, probably gonna hit that concrete, because that's what it is. It's concrete. But man, this was a really good match. There was a spot where Linsrado was performing moonsault. He tried to do it a third time, missed, came back and got him. That was so beautiful. But then, like I said, Enzo, aka Real1, the heel that he is, like, he is becoming a very, very, very good heel. Low blows him, then performs the Gonzo Buster, 1, 2, 3. Enzo wins. See what happens, but man, I would not be surprised if Enzo Amore, aka Real1, is in the MLW World Title picture of some sorts before the year's out, because man, he is a very, very good heel, man. The stuff that he was saying about the crowd, some of it was like, whoa, okay, ooh, damn, all right. But other than that, I mean, he is a very, very good heel. I know a lot of people back in the day were like, oh, he's overdoing it. Nah, what he's doing in MLW, this is some good stuff. From there, you had Dave Marquez. Yes, Dave Marquez. If that name sounds familiar, he was in NWA before the pandemic. Great interviewer, great man, great voice. You probably seen him in the Car Shield commercials with Ric Flair and Eli Drake, or actually not Eli Drake, Max Dupree. But he's interviewing Ty Valkyrie, and she reiterates, I'm taking the MLW Featherweight Women's Championship across the world. I did notice he didn't mention Impact Wrestling, which I know that there's MLW has some very strict guidelines as far as other promotions. Like, they'll allude to them, but they won't specifically say them in some instances. She did have the Reina de Reinas Championship along with the MLW title in this interview, and she issues a challenge. Whoever wants to challenge me, step up. So we'll see who steps up to the challenge for Ty Valkyrie in MLW, but great interview. Great to see Dave Marquez. I'm glad he's with MLW. Such a great interviewer, great voice, just great presence, and he is just great at what he does. From there, we had Alicia Toot that gave a warning to Alex Hammerstone that Alex Hammerstone and the Von Erichs, they better be ready. That was basically it. So we're going to get a match with the Von Erichs and Alex Hammerstone, more than likely against Richard Holiday and probably 5150, which that's an interesting combination if that does happen. From there, we had the Alex Kane versus whoever was going to challenge him for the MLW Openweight Championship. He called it the Thrilla and the Filla. And Philly, I don't know why I said that. The rules were it had to be someone from MLW. If you defeated him within the time allotted, you get $20,000. And if you win, you also become the new MLW Openweight Champion. Does that, they go to commercial. They do mention Ric Flair. Yes, Ric Flair Starcast last match. I liked it. This was the second time I've seen a mention of Ric Flair Starcast. The other time I saw it was on Impact Wrestling on their Thursday show, and then of course Impact Wrestling and MLW run at the same time, and it was on Impact Wrestling, so that, or MLW, so really cool to see that Ric Flair Starrcast commercial with David Crockett. We come back, and Alex Kane, he mentions Bomaye is for the people. It's a 20-minute prize fight. Mr. Thomas, he runs down Philly, the Sixers, the Eagles, the Phillies, and Alex Kane. And man, I love this line. It was the first time I've heard it. I know Alex Kane probably mentioned numerous of times that he's like, who wants to step up and want to go to Suplex Island? Like, ooh, I like that. Not Suplex City, Suplex Island. Ooh, man, that's so good. From there, music hits. Davey Richards. So we get Alex Kane versus Davey Richards in the Thrilla and Philly match. It was 20-minute time limit. Man, I don't know where to start with this match, because this was one of the funnest matches that I've seen this week. And I've seen a lot of wrestling this week. But man, this was a very fun match. Kudos to Davey Richards and Alex Kane. This was one of those matches that when you watched it, you just, the way they wrestled, the strategy, the mat wrestling, the counters, just the physicality, the maneuvering, the contrast in styles, because Alex Kane is more of a power suplex machine, and you got Davey Richards, who's more the kind of technical, athletic, quick guy, and just that contrast and just how they worked well together. Man, this was so good, man. I love this match. Man, them fighting outside the ring, and Davey Richards giving the thrust kicks, and man, just the whole match, man. I love this match, man. The back suplex that Alex Kane did on Davey Richards on the apron, the freaking trailer hitch maneuver that Davey Richards did on Alex Kane was... I know you're gonna ask, what trailer hitch move? What you have to watch? Go watch this match on MLW Fusion. It's on YouTube. Man, that was an amazing sequence. The ankle lock on Davey Richards, which unfortunately he did not get it in time. It sucked, but man, this was like I said, man, this was like those old school matches that used to happen in Jim Crockett Promotions / NWA back in the 80s, where it's a great battle, and then the time's about to run out, and it does, and it's like, oh man, we don't get a finish, and man, they should have won, and man, they could have, oh man, this was that match, man, and I loved it. Man, I enjoyed it. So post-match, Davey Richards, he's about to like gesture to Alex Kane to shake his hand. Mr. Thomas attacks him. They're beating him up. Myron Reed comes in for the save, and if you don't know, Myron Reed was approached by Davey Richards backstage for a match, and somewhat of a mentor, and that goes back a few episodes ago. And Myron Reed comes in for the save, and he's looking at Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas. Alex Kane looks at Myron Reed, and he kind of smirks, and then you see Myron Reed just looks at it, and then he hits Davey Richards with the chair. They start beating him up, and yes, Myron Reed has joined the Bomaye Fight Club. So you got Myron Reed, Mr. Thomas, and Alex Kane. That is a dope trio right there. I'm interested to see where this goes, how this is going to play out. I like it. Myron Reed has done an exceptional job in MLW, anchor throughout the pandemic and even last year. Alex Kane, same thing. I just like that combination of Alex Kane and Myron Reed being a part of the Bomaye Club, especially with Mr. Thomas. Just interested to see that dynamic. But man, this match, Davey Richards Alex Kane, man, this was a fabulous match, and I do got to shout out Alex Kane. If you don't know who he is, you need to start watching his matches. You need to start following him on social media. As a fan of professional wrestling, and I do like guys his size who, you know, big suplex, like any guy that's big, suplex, can just talk shit and just beat the hell out of people. I'm a big fan of it, man. And I am really interested to see Alex Kane and where he'll be in the next 5 years. Because, man, he's doing some great stuff in MLW, but, man, just to see where he's going to be in 5 years, man, that's going to be so much fun. And just see where he goes and who he wrestles and just how he expounds on what he's doing now. Man, I'm so geeked. And this match alone, the match that he had with Davey Richards, just solidify, like, man, you guys need to start paying attention to who Alex Kane is and what he's doing, because this was a masterpiece of a match that he had with Davey Richards, man. This was so damn fun. And I know in this video, this review, you're going to be like, well, you're repeating yourself. Look, watch the match and comment below what you thought of the match, because that was a very good match. And it was good to see Davey Richards is going to put on a hell of a match. But the contrast, like I said, between him and Alex Kane is just phenomenal, and how they mesh those different styles in this match was just a work of art, man. I loved it. And, man, I'm probably going to watch it again. I am probably going to watch it again because it was that good. But, man, this episode of MLW Fusion, I mean, you're left wondering when is that match between Jacob Fatu and Real1, aka Enzo's gonna happen. You know, Alex Hammerstone and the Von Erichs and Richard Holiday, you know, that whole thing. And it was announced next week. I believe it was next week we're gonna get Alex Hammerstone and Richard Holiday. That's gonna be dope. You know, Ty Valkyrie, who's gonna challenge her for the MLW Women's Featherweight Championship. What's gonna happen? You know, what's going to happen with the Bomaye Fight Club now that Myron Reed has joined. So, this is what I like about MLW. When you watch an episode, you're left with more questions like, man, what's going to happen with this person? What's going to happen with that one? And that's the template of a good and great wrestling show. You're left with so many questions like, man, where is this going to go? Like, not in a bad way, but just like intriguing way. Like, man, where is this going to go? How's this going to, man, are they going to match it with this team or that team? Very good. So I recommend you guys watch this episode. But, man, this is my review for the July 7th episode of MLW Fusion. I'm Dedrian Colon. Follow me on all social media platforms. Actually, no, not follow me. Follow House of Wrestling on all social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. With that, like I always say, there's so much crazy stuff happening in the world. If wrestling is what takes your mind off of things, man, enjoy the 1, 2, 3, 4 hours you watch it. Stop fighting over wrestling, man, because there's good wrestling going on, and there's more serious stuff happening in the world than, you know, whatever point you want to make about professional wrestling, man. But this was a great night. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.